When connecting multiple devices together, you need a switch to simply allow communication between these hosts. Historically, when network devices used the same segment using a hub, they had to share the same bandwidth, and only one machine could transmit data at a time. Network segments that share the same bandwidth are called collision domains, because when two or more machines in that segment attempt to communicate at the same time, collisions can occur. Today, it is essential to use switches as network devices. A switch works on the data link layer of the OSI model. It's layer 2. It divides a network into segments and reduces the number of devices that will use the same bandwidth. Each new segment then leads to a new area of collision. As shown in the figure with the switch, each port of the switch connects to a single PC or server and represents a unique collision domain. As for the broadcasting field, this is another concept. This is a logical area of the network where any PC connected to that same network can directly communicate with all other PCs in the same domain without having to go through a router. Now we're going to talk about unicast frames. So in this diagram, when the two PCs communicate, they exchange unicast frames. The term unicast defines a point-to-point network connection from one host to another. For example, if you ping on a PC from the same network, you do unicast because you send a ping package only on one PC. This is like sending a letter to one of his friends in the mail. Only this friend will receive this letter. Now let's see the processing of these unicast frames on a switch. When unicast frame is received on a port, the switch compares the destination MAC address to the MAC address it had listed in its table. If the switch finds the MAC address and it is part of the same network as the source, then it will transmit the frame on the port that is attached to the address MAC. In this case, they say it switches the frame. If the MAC address is not in the same network as the source, then it will transmit it to the default gateway, also known as the gateway. And if the switch has no input into its table, then it transmits it to all these ports except the port on which it received the data. They say the plot is flooded. Switches have become indispensable for most networks. The segmentation of an LAN into several collision areas. Each port of the switch represents a separate collision domain. There are two very different modes of communication that are half-duplex and the full-duplex. A half-duplex communication is comparable to communication with walkie-talkies. Whoever wants to talk must wait until the other is finished. There is no possibility of speaking at the same time. And full-duplex mode allows you to transmit and receive signals at the same time. It's like a phone call. Everyone can talk at the same time. With a switch, each station connected to one of these ports has a bandwidth that is properly dedicated to it and operates in full duplex.